Alrighty. Let me just take a sip of my water. I've been using my throat chakra a lot today. So it feels a little bit sore, but I'm gonna go with it because I want to obviously put my collective weekly reading out. But again, if I'm talking a little bit um, lower, slower, or I'm clearing my throat, just know that I've been using this a lot today. Um, guys, if you're here and you're watching, obviously whether live or not live, I know I never post like when I'm going, so I don't ever expect everybody to flood in. But I know some of you will catch this after. And I've been just enjoying live just because as I click it, it records, post it. I don't have to worry about it after. Not that I don't like doing my recorded videos, I do, but it's just for the weekly ones, it's just easier for me to just record it, move on, right? Oh my God, this week, I'm so curious how you guys are feeling, truly, because the energy is coming up to like beautiful, passion, magnetic. Oh my God. Like, I want you to know, guys, so many of you, and I truly feel this and I truly believe this, you're coming into your new beginning, your new chapter. I know I've been saying this for a while, and it's because, I've mentioned this before. You can feel into the energy, and it doesn't mean that it's going to happen in the physical that second. It just means it's around the corner and it has to happen in divine timing. Um, and the thing is, we all move into this new chapter at different, rates. Some people did start their new chapter weeks ago, right? And some people are just moving into that. But it feels like a large collective of you're stepping into that. Like you're getting your signs and the physical manifestations of your new beginning starting. Truly. It's exciting. It's amazing because we've gone through a lot of the shadow, a lot of the darkness, a lot of the transmutation of the dense heavy energies. And we are coming out rebirthed, renewed, rebirthed, and ready to shine our light. So I hope you feel this. I hope you feel it because I feel like I've mentioned this before, I easily tap into especially that fiery, passionate energy just because within my own chart, I have a lot of fire, and that's like an element I easily tap into. And I've learned over the years to balance it because sometimes too much fire, it ends up being too much, right? That was my own journey that I've learned. But oh, does it ever feel like a beautiful, fiery week? Truly. So, a lot of you are getting like basically a purification from the old. Finally letting go of the old, right? Because obviously, when that chapter ends, when you've come to the completion of a cycle of a chapter, a new one begins, right? And it's like you're being purified. You've gone through the purification of your soul, your body, on every single level. And I made a video last week talking about cleanses because a lot of you I know have gone most likely through a cleanse. You've done the cleansing of your soul, of your psyche, of your mind, all of that. But then that also comes like in our bodies of when we're like, okay, I need to do a bodily cleanse, right? And you could have done some sort of a cleanse to integrate all of that. And that also just helps the new energies that want to come in, like energetic downloads and spiritual upgrades, it happens easier in a clear vessel, right? So you're being purified this week. You're being purified from the old. You've been letting go of the old and you're being purified, rebirthed, right? And so many of you, I truly believe that so many of you are stepping into your new chapter. And you could be getting an actual physical manifestation of that this coming week. But most importantly, I do feel like a lot of you are actually starting to feel this. You're starting to feel that you've come into your new chapter. You've gotten a lot of signs and synchronicities of your new chapter beginning, and it's like you're feeling it. You're like, yeah, this is there. And I find that a beautiful thing because it's not like you need evidence, like more and more evidence from outside of you because you have become embodied, that now you're like, yeah, I feel like this new chapter has begun. And it's just like, yeah, like something is going to come in because it has to. And that's the power of feeling into that energy because you become like a magnet for things to come into you. So it's beautiful. It's amazing. um yeah, you have gained, there was also this like spiritual wisdom that's coming into play because obviously when you have gone through a lot of the density, a lot of the transmutation of your shadows and coming into like this next level version of yourself, there's a lot of wisdom that you learn, right? Wisdom from the past, wisdom from lessons that you have learned, and you're alchemizing, integrating that wisdom. And for some of you, it's like you're actually stepping into this chapter of your life where you're going to be teaching this wisdom. Because a lot of you have learned so many different things where now it's like you can go out and teach. You can teach, you can share the wisdom that you have gained and learned to other people who they need to you know, learn from someone who's been through the fires of whatever, right? So you could be getting like signs this week, or you're literally, because it is a fiery energy of, it's like you're clear, you know what to do, you have your ideas, and it's like, all right, I gotta start sharing. I gotta start using my voice, using my gifts, and sharing this with the public so that they can get, inspired and learn from you. Um, let me see. Spiritual upgrades and downloads. So again, because of this wisdom and it's like this next level of yourself, you have an easier time accessing the divine within you and receiving more information, receiving more of those downloads, of that guidance, of that wisdom. So you're like a clear channel and vessel for the divine, right? And you could just be experiencing more of that this week. Um, and like I mentioned, again, this week, this is like definitely like a new beginning where it feels fiery, magnetic, passionate. It's like, oh my god, it's it's beautiful. Like this is the energy that definitely magnetizes things towards you and creates. And because of that, because you're stepping into that, like you're feeling this, you're feeling the magnitude, the fire, the passion. A lot of people will be noticing you, noticing your energy, and this will come across as like you'll see people looking at you, and it's not like in a weird way, but it's like whoa, it's like your energy speaks before you do. You know what I mean? Like you enter the room, and because your energy obviously is connected to you, it like touches those people, everyone around you, and they're like, whoa, it's like they feel you coming in, and they're like, oh, who's this? Who's this? And you could just see, like, again, they're paying attention to you, they're looking at you. Some of them obviously will come up to you and they'll talk to you. Some of them will just make sure that, are you okay? Do you need anything? Like, you'll see, like, it's like people want to connect with you and service you and give you like that best kind of service and experience. And again, it's because it's energy. It's energy. So you could be experiencing that this week, and like people just wanting to connect more deeply with you. Again, always use your discernment if this is a person that you should connect deeply with, right? Whether it's platonic or romantic. Um and and use the wisdom that you have gained to see if, like, okay, yes, this resonates, I can connect with this person further, yada yada yada. But because of this as well, it's like opportunities are definitely magnetized to you and will be coming in, right? A lot of the time, obviously, opportunities come through people. And when people notice you, when people want to connect with you, when people want to come up and talk to you, they're literally giving you opportunities. Guys, I have been experiencing it these past couple of days. It's been like I don't have to do anything but just show up. I don't even have to open my mouth. And it's like people are coming up and they're like, "How are you? Do you need anything?" Da da da. Or they want to engage in more conversation. And then unexpectedly, they're like, "Hey, I want to invite you to this thing." So you could be like experiencing that this week, and you're just like, "Whoa, okay, this is awesome," right? Um, yeah, I mentioned this before. So you're in a receiving energy, basically. That receiving energy comes from the divine feminine, because a lot of you have been coming into that divine feminine polarity. Again, whether you're a man, obviously a woman, we all have these energies of the masculine, feminine polarities. I've been saying a lot that a lot of us, both men and women, have been coming back into their feminine receptive energy, receptive, creative, mystical, powerful, magnetic energy. And the feminine is naturally receiving. So it's like you're receiving like these opportunities to you. Um this week you could also be getting, and I did mention earlier, like a fiery idea, because you're so connected with the divine and you've been working on that connection internally, and you receive these downloads very quickly and easily. You could be receiving, if you haven't yet, right? If you haven't yet, you can be receiving an idea, very passionate, fiery idea. Like it's an idea that excites you. And this will be an idea that is connected to your stability and foundation, and it's like the road to your success and fulfillment, right? So and you'll be like, "Okay, like I got the channel. I got the idea and I know what to do. I need to start executing this." And it's like you have that creative life force energy to go and do it. You're like, "Yep, I'm gonna start creating this. Don't care if it looks messy. It's gonna work out. I'm just gonna go and roll with it," right? Um, which yeah, that's why I wrote like feel you're like be ready to feel that fiery energy to push you into like charging forward, taking action, and just like like follow that. Follow. I know a lot of us have been going through this period of rest, of like doing the opposite, of just resting, of just being, of not executing, right? Which at the time you can question like, okay, is this, am I being lazy or whatever? No, no, no. No, you were doing a lot of healing work. And there's a time and place where that inspired, creative, passionate, fiery energy comes where you have to act. And that's what's coming in now. And so that's when you can take that inspired action, right? Inspired action, not action that comes from like overwhelm, stress, exhaustion. That never works out. But when it's inspired action, that creates empires. Um Again, because it's like a beautiful, fiery, passionate week, you could be in this like celebratory energy and you could just be spending that time with more people and friends, celebrating, talking, communicating. And if you don't have anything like that planned, it's like you could just be meeting more people that are aligned with you in your path because you're so magnetic. People are feeling your energy and it's pulling things towards you, right? Um Let me see what else. I only have a couple more things. A lot of you, and I love this. I love this, and this is also mirroring my work. A lot of you are starting to speak your truth, regardless if people like it or not. Like that not caring energy of contorting, like basically contorting yourself and people pleasing, that's being removed. And you're just like, listen, I'm going to say and speak my truth, like what I feel called internally to speak to. And if you can't take that, if you get triggered by that, oh well. If that drives you away, well, then you're not meant to be in my circle, right? There's this like inner authority coming out in you because it's like, you've spent so long alchemizing your shadows, being in that realm, right? Of constant death and rebirth. And it's like you've been forged through the fire so that you can gain the confidence to speak what's on your heart because a lot of you are leaders. A lot of you are leaders and it's your time to shine and rise and not to contort and be small. And yes, I get when you first start speaking your truth from your inner authority, there's going to be a lot of people that don't like it. But guess what? You're getting to the place of you do not care. And it's not coming from an ego pride thing, right? Because there was a thing that came up here. Be mindful of that. Is it coming from your ego and pride and you thinking that you're better than people because you have spent time alchemizing your shadows? Because if that's the case, that's something that you have to watch out for and alchemize, right? It's only coming up because it needs to be alchemized, it needs to be looked at. You have to be mindful of that. Just because you have done the work does not mean you're better than others, right? It's just like your path has taken you there. And I truly do believe everybody will get there. Just everyone's on a different path. And so just make sure when you're speaking your truth, when you're coming into like into that inner authority, it's not like I'm looking down at you little people and I'm like the godly one. No, because we all have access to this. So just make sure that's not there, right? This is only for some of you, not all of you, right? Because this is again a journey. Just because you've done a lot of work does not mean it is done. You've just done a lot of work in that area and everything has to be balanced, right? Where it's like, okay, now we can go out, enjoy ourselves, teach and share the things that we have learned, but that doesn't mean we're done learning. That's the humility. That's the humbleness that comes within where it's like, okay, like I know that I can go through like for example another dark night of the soul. I know that there's some shadows in me that could still come up and shock me, right? So I felt called definitely to mention this because I know some people can just like really swing into their pride of like, look at me, I'm better. No, no, no. We are all capable of doing that. Each and every single one of us. Just remember, okay? Just remember. Doesn't mean don't speak your truth. Speak your truth, but just remember others can tap into that as well. And you're just sharing because you're meant to share with others to inspire others, to help others, right? That's it has to come from that place. Inner authority, but it's like also that love and compassion, right? Um but it's a beautiful place to be. I can tell you that. Like this is something that I'm also going through and not caring if someone likes it, they don't like it. They don't like it, that's fine. It's just, I was supposed to mirror something to them and then they have to go and do their own work, right? But it's just like I make sure I tap into my heart and share from my heart space, right? Um Let me see. Yeah, so a lot of you are just balancing again, this is the masculine and feminine polarities. You're balancing like heart-led structure so that like feminine intuition combined with the masculine structure and stability. You're learning to dance between both polarities, right? Because sometimes the masculine in you leads and sometimes the feminine in you leads. And it's a constant dance, right? Sometimes the feminine needs to rest, recharge, recalibrate, connect deeply with herself and the divine. And then sometimes it's like, okay, well, now I've done that. I have to create, I have to do, I have to execute, I have to plan, right? And it's like you're learning to dance between the both polarities, the yin and the yang. Um, yeah. So that's pretty much what can be all expected actually this week. The numbers that were coming out for this week um was number 10 and number 1, which like 10 just, reduces to a 1. And I'm like, "That's funny how it's like that was the only there was no other freaking numbers." That's all about new beginnings. That's why I'm saying, like, a lot of you are entering your new beginning. Like, a lot of you, this is your week. This is your time of the new beginning, of the new cycle, and especially, like, this is how you'll know it's for you because you've been getting signs about that. You've been getting signs that it's like you've entered your new cycle, your new chapter. And especially if you've been seeing a lot of ones and tens, that's your confirmation as well that you're entering this new beginning, this new cycle. And it's funny because we're in October, which is also a 10, right? So it is funny how that there's also a mirror of that. So new beginnings, completion, mastery, rebirth, right? The animals that were showing up. And again, I mentioned this is and by the way, I know I see the chat. Thank you, Chaos, for I haven't been reading all of it just because I wanted to concentrate on the collective reading. Um, I just want to acknowledge that. Um, the animals showing up for this week, and I always include this because I do believe in like the animal archetypes that carry energies, and a lot of the time this also could be signs for you, right? Was the Huron and the stork, and also the cheetah and the cougar, which is funny because it's like both the air elements and the earth stability, right? The balance of both. And so for me, it's like the stork and the heron, it's like birthing something new. You're literally coming into the fullness of yourself, renewal, rebirth, alignment. And then the cheetah and the cougar, it's like the power, the action, the focused momentum, and inner authority, and reclaiming your personal power. I thought it was beautiful, beautiful, like how all of this came out. So I truly believe it's it's going to be an amazing week for you. If you're watching this anytime after, I do believe that, like, this energy is still carrying on for you, and work with it. Work with it. You guys have come so far in, like, balancing the masculine and the feminine and the action and the red, like, you have come so far, so I believe that, a lot of you do know how to dance in both polarities. So, yeah, a lot of you are just you're now living the embodiment of what you've learned. And I do feel like that's literally the beginning of your new era, where now you get to experience what it's like to live in this balanced state, right? Alrighty, I'm gonna end this here because I have a quite passionate and fiery week ahead, so I'm definitely in that energy as well. I'm sending you so much love, guys, and I do have a couple recorded videos that I want to make that I want to release throughout this week, but I am also busy, so I don't know how much I'll be able to, but there's definitely there's messages like literally coming through, and they're quite fiery. Alrighty. Alrighty, guys, sending you so much love, and I'll see you definitely next week on the next live. Bye.